I don't know. Can you?
Are you looking for something?
Is there something I should be looking for?
We have a great, section of do-it-yourself.
Do you like to do it yourself?
So, you think this movie doesn't suck?
No, I think this is one of the better movies of the year, actually. That's how much I like this movie. This movie is what Wedding Crashers was trying to be, but didn't succeed. Wedding Crashers was like, oh, we have this relationship, and we're going to, like, have them fall in love, but we're also doing all this other, lowbrow humor. This movie actually pulled it off and made me believe in the character. The relationship between him and Catherine Keener, I thought, was really charming. It really worked. And, I mean, up to the point where he's even taking her daughter in, to this class about, getting pregnant and about using, contraception. I think it all works.
Apparently you had the rosy, this is like reality and these things aren't ridiculously overblown glasses on. Because
No, some of it was definitely ridiculously overblown, but I think they pulled off both of them, whereas Wedding Crashers didn't. Wedding Crashers was like, it only worked when they were going over the top, and then they kept falling back into cliche. I think when this movie goes for the relationship and the real issues, it doesn't fall back into the cliche, and I think it rings true.
I think they're remarkably similar in their complete misunderstanding of how you tell an absurd story or how you tell a realistic story, and blending the two in a way that completely doesn't work, and also taking toilet humor and dick jokes so far past the line that, honestly, I talk about this in my written review. There was a couple that got about 20 minutes into the picture. Carell's careening down the road with a drunk girl he picked up at a bar who's literally driving into cars and then driving into this and that, and she vomits strawberry daiquiri all over his face. I saw these people.
What offended you more, the strawberry daiquiri or the fact that drunk driving was played for laughs?
Well, all of it, really.
Because I laughed at the whole thing. I thought it was great.
But I saw this middle-aged couple get up and walk out of the theater, and I pretty much spent the rest of the time thinking, I wonder where they are and what they're doing, because as long as they're not watching this movie, they're doing something better than I am.
You're absolutely insane. I thought you had a sense of humor. I didn't know you were such a, poopy pants. I mean, this movie is really, really funny. And
maybe
for
it
you
was
to
just missing poopy pants. Maybe that was what I would have found more funny if they could have had shit in the movie. Somehow they could have incorporated that somehow, like built a tower made of shit.
If it was Wedding Crashers,
because that would be funny.
If it was Wedding Crashers, there would have been shit in the movie. That's what I'm saying. This movie didn't have to go that far to be funny. I thought it was hilarious, and I think it worked as a relationship thing because the girls have their fucking Sex in the City and shit like that, right? But you don't actually have guys talking about this stuff very often, and it was nice to see that. And yeah, you're gonna have guys talk like the guys in this movie. They do talk like that. And Seth Rogen, I have to mention Seth Rogen.
Is he the kid from Freaks and Geeks?
Yes, because he has this dry sense of humor that's completely unlike the other three guys. And it's just another example of how to do something right in this movie.
I mean, look at this place, man. You got to see this through the eyes of a woman, What is she gonna think when she comes in here? Oh, look, he's got a billion toys.
So what?
And more video games than a teenaged Asian kid.
Well, all right.
Is that the $6 Million Man's boss?
Yeah, it's Oscar Goldman.
Why do you have that?
That's worth a lot of money. That's much more valuable than Steve Austin.
I mean, that is not sexy.
I'm not trying to be sexy, man.
Well, mission accomplished.
Seriously.
I wasn't offended like I'm sensitive to it. I'm like, oh, I'm so offended. I'm so upset with this thing. I was offended that it was that terrible. I was offended that it was... I'm tired of like, okay, because they did this in Something About Mary, or they did this in Super Troopers, or whatever it is. Where it's like, you can't just make a movie that has some like... Do you remember Raising Arizona? Do you remember a comedy that was funny and well-written and didn't have to resort to stupidity like that? Because I do recall that happening, but Hollywood has completely forgotten about it. Ever since Something About Mary, you can't tell... okay, I admit that Catherine Keener is completely likable and totally easy to fall in love with, and Steve Carell's character could, if it was dialed down about 10 notches, be a little bit more reasonable.
I thought it was dialed down about 10 notches.
But you could relate to the fact that this guy's never gotten laid. You could relate to the fact that he went in and tried to be there for this woman's daughter and all those kinds of things. If it weren't for the next beat of everything is a dick and fart joke, taken too far specifically because you can't control yourself.
Well, you just admitted that the movie works on this certain kind of level, and I've been trying to say that I think that level in the movie is what makes it better than those average dick and fart joke comedies. So, I don't know. I thought I knew JD, but apparently I don't. I am going to give this movie a rock fist way up.
I'm giving it a rock fist down. I'm not going to give it a rock fist way down, which I think I gave to Wedding Crashers, because quite frankly, I'm just exhausted. So, whatever. This movie is terrible. Don't go see it.
This is the funniest movie I've seen all year. That's all I gotta say.
I don't trust you.